and helped shape the scene, especially the hip hop scene in the early 2000s. And he's here, living legend, Prezzo. Maze, karibu.
What's up? What's up?
Yo!
How you living? How you living?
Trying to breathe, bana.
How you guys doing? Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming through, actually.
Appreciate it.
All right. Let's just jump straight into it, right?
But I just had a question, though.
Yes, please.
Did we get that police abstract?
You had to do that.
I had
really?
to. I'm sorry, I had to.
It's all right. It's
Mambo,
all right. Nkofiti.
all is well?
All is well, man.
You guys are looking amazing, and so are your studios.
Karibu sana.
Apart from that, you are looking amazing as well. And let me tell you, people, this man smells so good. Yani the hug, I'm still like, I'm not going to. But let's jump into it. Let's start about early 2000s, right? And actually, let's go when you were inspired to get into music.
You know, I grew up with a musical background in the sense that growing up like in Eastlands, you know, that's when like people used to break dance and, you know, the matatus used to play loud music.
Right.
My neighbors, you know, like when the parents go to work, you know, every house was just playing music. So I loved music from when I was young, but then I started like, you know, getting into rap when I was roughly around 13 years old. Yeah, so I used to listen to a lot of rap music. And yeah, it's, you know, when I started by, you know, doing people's music like Kina Tupac and Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. But then it got to a point I said, okay, how come I'm always singing other people's raps, you know? How about I try start constructing my own raps and everything. So around 13, that's when I started like, I would write like a whole verse, it would have no end and it'll have no hooks. So after that, you know, like we started going for these funkies and everything, jam sessions. And then, I had an agreement with my mother that once I'm done with my education and everything, then I can do anything I want to do. Right.
I heard you speaking about the next episode, right?
Yeah.
You battled with the beats, or did you do the actual lyrics or the rap that Dr. Dre did?
No, the actual raps that. So you see, like in high school, we used to have like this culture nights. So during the culture nights, people would showcase whatever it is that they want to showcase. But for me, I would always like, you know, be doing all these raps by them Dr. Dre's and them. And guess what? I used to win each and every year.
Of course.
Yeah. Anybody who went to school with me, I swear to God, they'll tell you.
Yes.
They'll tell you this guy, like he used to Mr. Greensters, Mr. Greensters, back to back, you know. Yeah.
That's dope.
So we've gathered enough confidence and we've decided, you know what, let's hit the studio. Who was your first connect? Who was your first producer? Who inspired you? Who took you?
My first connect was Waire the Love Child.
Oh, big up Waire.
You know, so just a small story, a short story. Like we used, you know, Nazizi and I used to be very good friends from way back in the day when we were in high school.
Okay.
And then myself and the late Firoz was in my crew. It was called the CMB Cash Money Brothers, right? So CMB and Necessary Noise, we used to work for Necessary Noise in the sense that whenever they'd have a concert or a show, we're the ones who would make sure, like, you know, all the logistics are in place. And then, you know, as time went by, I told Waire, I'm like, yo, why don't you just give me a shot? You know, like, give me a shot and see what we can come up with. And then that's when we did Naleta Action. We did Naleta Action. Then I did a second song with Waire again called Malaika Mama. After that, the rest is history.
Yes, it is history indeed.
So shout out to Waire for giving a president a chance.
So, but let me just ask you, in plain layman language, uligonga mtu wa mikono?
Nilikuwa mtu wa mikono. Exactly.
But akasema logistics, nikasema sawa, wacha ikafly.
So unajua, yani, I'm a wordsmith. My job is to carve words.
True.
But yeah, to answer your question, mtu wa mkono.
So what was that one show? I watched you at Culture.
Yeah.
Yo, you were amazing.
Thank you.
And you know you don't get those whips and whistles to divert the attention from you.
Yeah.
You were just the one on stage and you were performing.
Yeah.
How does it feel after so much energy, like people singing your songs word for word, and people just like when they hear Prezzo's song, a drop of yours, people get excited. How do you feel?
Man, you know, I always give praise to the Most High. And then, you know, one thing is, Like I'm so passionate about what I do. I'm so passionate about everything that I ask God for. So at times, you know, you might go for a show and then you're exhausted, and then people want to take pictures, they want to get autographs.
Yeah.
So the devil is a liar, because at times you might feel like, oh, I'm exhausted, you know, and then you might turn somebody down. But then you remember that without these people, there's no me. And so, you know, right there and then I pick myself back up and I'll be like, yo, bro, I'm a sis, come to take a picture. But, you know, for me, I always give thanks to the Most High, because people say, be careful what you ask for, because you just might get it. So I remember in the beginning when I was having like meetings with Big Ted and trying to build the whole brand, you know, I was asking Big Ted, I'm like, do you really think that one day I'll be so famous to the extent whereby I cannot even go to the kiosk without people bombarding me? You know, so whenever I remember those early days, I just give thanks always. And it's a wonderful feeling. Like the show we had the other night.
Yeah.
Oh, man. You know, that one was one for the books for sure. So you were there?
I was there watching you screaming right in front of you.
Nice.
I loved
Nice,
it.
thank
Yours
you.
was one of my favorite.
I appreciate
Yeah.
it. You saw my intro?
I saw everything. I was literally...
Yeah.
So, Makini, the crew CMB,
Yeah.
204, Chagula Tiniz,
Yeah.
he decided, you know what, let me just do, you know, back there was no industry per se.
Correct.
There were labels and everything, there were the Caliphs, the Gopas,
Yeah.
the Kudreds. So you decide, you know what, let me
Yeah.
just fly the fence, the beef,
Yeah.
the pulse, and everything. Walk me through that thing. What was going through your head when you decided, you know what, let me just book a chopper? Because it was, unlike now, it was not cheap. Back
Yeah,
that
it wasn't,
day.
yeah.
And money was not circulating as much.
Yeah.
Social media. What was going through your head? What was the working process?
Well, you know, during that time, you have to realize that for you coming from uptown to be accepted as a rapper was a no-no. So all the rappers, either they came from Kariobangi or just, you know,
Dandora.
you have to, Dandora. You have to come from a ghetto to be accepted as a rapper.
True.
So for me, with a name like Cash Money Brothers, you know, I couldn't settle for less. And so I knew that, you know, I'm going to get a lot of haters along the way, but then I just chose to close my ears, keep my eyes open, and just grow a thick skin. And I said, because there's no uptown artist who's doing it, I might as well do it, and I might as well do it proper. So we had this slogan of go hard or go home.
Go home.
Yeah. And one day, like, you know, the day before the show, before the Chagula Teenies, we had a show in Nakuru. So when we were going to Nakuru all that time with my whole crew, I was just thinking like, okay, how do we approach this Chagula Teenies? And then I knew that, you know, it was my opportunity to make a statement. So I said, okay, Wilson Airport, I mean, why not? So I chose to book for the chopper.
Dang.
and then you know, it was good for the industry, because now people started looking at things from a different perspective. I got the chopper, you know, a lot of people laughed and said, yeah, I'm a Ruka fence, you know. but you see, what you have to understand is with the chopper, it's not like a Uber. Yeah, you pay per hour. Okay, so whether you book a fence or you book a river, you know, it doesn't matter. So you pay per hour. And the crazy thing is, like, you know, that actually, up until today, I ask myself the same question, like, Prez, what were you thinking? You know?
But that was genius.
Yeah, that was dope. Because so
Kabisa.
many years later, I guess still, no one has ever done that.
No
From
one.
there.
And-
No one.
And it actually, the best thing you did, you gave more, that's morale to the artist. Like,
Yeah.
my art can actually get me to certain levels, to be recognized.
Yeah.
It actually pays.
Absolutely. And you know, like, at that time you have to realize that artists were not really being given the respect that they need, right? So once I pulled that chopper stunt, for me, even if they wanted to take me for a show, as long as they have an airport, I wouldn't roll by bus.
I love that.
Whereby my peers used to go by bus, you know, and then, you know, slowly but surely I started talking to like my other peers, you know. I'm like, listen, if they can fly us, to Mombasa, then why not you?
True.
You know, so nikwambia wekeni kazeni buti.
Yes.
You know, put your foot on the ground and they're going to budge, because we had the noise, we had the demand, you know what I mean? And that's how promoters also started, like, you know, treating artists with much more respect than before. So you find, like, they call an artist, they say, yeah, so, you know, we're going to book a bus, or you're going to come with your own car. They're like, no. It's either you fly us or you have no show. Yeah, so.
And another thing that people do not know about you is that you actually know how to fly.
I do. I went to CMC flying school.
Nice.
Right after my O levels. Yeah, so I have a private pilot's license.
So you can chauffeur me someday.
Anytime, any day.
I love that. There's somebody here who's giving you a shout out. It is Asmali. He says hi. He's the mayor of Isili.
Okay.
And he's loving you. Okay, let's move on to something that I really want to talk about, that I feel is really important, especially for the boy child.
Right.
Your father figure and your mother. What role did they play in shaping the man that you are?
Well, my dad used to show me tough love, that's for sure. My dad was really strict, but with the same breath, he used to really spoil me. So all he wanted was just good grades. Once you gave him good grades, then you're in good terms. But if you slacked when it comes to mannerism,
right,
you know, respect to the elders and everything, then he would put me in my place. My mom, the same thing as well. She had tough love, but it wasn't as tough as my pops. Okay, so my pops passed away when I was 13 years old. And then from 13 years old now, my mom had to play both roles, like the father figure and the mother, right? So I would actually give her a lot of props, because every time I talk about my mother, you know, so people think that, oh, he's a mama's boy, oh, he's this and that. But it's just all the blood, sweat and tears I've seen this lady go through just to make sure, like, you know, the family business is intact. Her son, who was a rebel, also was in check.
Yes.
You know, so for that I'll always be grateful. And once we finished the agreement of me finishing my school, then, you know, when I decided to venture into music, she was there for me 110%.
Right.
You know, so they both played their role. Unfortunately, you know, Mungu alimpenda mzee more than us. But then I thank God, because Malaika Mama was always there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And the first bag you secured, I heard that you gave it to her. Tell me that story a little bit.
Hey, Diana, you've done your homework.
Sweetheart.
Yeah. So there was an advertisement that I was told to endorse. Right. I'm not going to mention the name.
Yeah.
So they paid me 1.5 million. Man, I'm only 24 years old. Okay. And then this endorsement, when they gave me that check, I said, okay, I'll take this nusu milioni nitampatia mother, so she can also feel like, you know, okay, we're reaping some fruits off of this, right? When I gave her the 500,000, I remained with the one, so ever since that day, because I didn't even tell her, oh, I have something for you, I just went. I had this brown sugar papers.
Right.
I gave her that bag. When she saw it, she said, what's this for? I told her, that's from me to you. She's like, okay, so walk me through it. How did it come about? I told her I got this endorsement in ABCD. They paid me this much, but, you know, this is for you. Ever since that day, ilikuwa makosa, kwa sababu mother sasa ndio alikuwa ananilazimisha, ingia kwa studio, umeandika nyimbo mpya, fanya hivi na hivi, hebu nisikize, unaelewa? But you see, for her, even just to see her face light up like that, and to see her, like, you know, all happy for me,
yes,
that's what gave me the blessings, you know, to become the Prezzo that I am, the Prezzo that I was. And yeah, you know, the rest is history.
I love that story.
You know?
So, Big Brother.
Yeah.
Back in the day, and at that moment, it was the biggest show in Africa. How did you feel to represent Kenya? What was the process? How were you interacting with different people from Africa, different experiences? You know, people are different. They react different to everything. So how was it to interact with all those guys?
Well, you know, first things first, I never even applied for Big Brother. Let's start from there.
Oh, wait.
Sorry.
You were just called and told?
They just called me. The first time they called me, they said, am I speaking to Prezzo? I said, yes. They said, you know, my name is so-and-so. I'm calling you from Endemol. I didn't know what endemol was. So I said, okay. And then they said, we would like you. Have you ever watched Big Brother? I said, no, which is the truth. I've heard of it, but I never sat down and watched it. So they said, yeah, we're calling from Big Brother and we'd like you to be a participant. So at that time, there was like radio stations, just like you guys, who used to prank people.
Yes.
So straight away, I thought like, this is a prank. So I said, listen, I really don't have time for this right now. Thank you, goodbye. I hung up. Then they called again and said, Prezzo, please don't hang up, you know. Then when they called the second time is when I realized, okay, this is not a prank.
Okay.
So it was a Friday. I was going for a show in Eldoret. I told them, give me until Monday, and then I'll be able to give you a concrete answer. So I started thinking. I'm like, okay, I'm going to be locked up in a room full of strangers.
For how many days?
90 days.
90 days, okay.
Full of cameras, you know. But then I said, you know, every time I pray, I ask the man upstairs, like, you know, to open up the doors for me. So you have to read between the lines sometimes. So he won't open up a door and tell you, this is the door I'm opening. True. So when I did the calculations, it was 300,000 USD for the grand prize. Okay. I said, hey, you know, I don't have to pay rent. I don't have to worry about the electricity bill. I don't have to worry about food. Everything is supplied. Yes. I mean, why not? And I believe like I was born to be an entertainer. So fast forward, you know, we get into the house and everything. Everything in the beginning was very new to me. Even when they said go to the diary room, I never knew what the diary room is. But then I just told myself, disregard all these cameras. You just do you, okay? Don't focus on the cameras because, you know, those cameras will put you under pressure and all that. So I disregarded the cameras. And then I found the people who we had things in common with, you know, the late Goldie, may she rest in peace. And then there was a brother from Zimbabwe called Rocky.
Yes.
So those were my allies, okay? Now, with those two beside me, I could conquer these other ones. You know, these other ones, like, because now, see, I already have a team built of 3 people. The late Goldie, myself, and Rocky. And then, you know, as time went by, 1 week goes. When I got there, actually, I unpacked my stuff, put everything in the closet. You know, I put my Kenyan flag and everything. And then the next Sunday, I was put up for eviction. So we're told to pack our bags. So I said, okay, so when you saw me unpacking my bags, at least you should have given me a heads up because kupack, unpack. So ever since my first nomination for eviction, I packed my bags, but I never unpacked them again because I knew, okay, chances are I'll be here for a long time and chances are I'll be nominated for eviction, but chances are I came here for the bag.
Right.
And I grabbed the bull by its horns and I went with it. Yeah, it was not easy.
And you made us proud.
You know what I mean? I appreciate that.
But let me ask you, in life, the way you're talking about allies, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel that in life we have to play that game as well, where we have to have allies around us to take care of ourselves?
We have to. Reason being, okay, I'll give you an example. Like when I was young, you know, when I would fall in love with a lady, I would really fall so hard.
Yeah, you look like the type.
You know what I mean? So what happens is you find like, you know, maybe one of your friends has started trying to talk to your lady behind your back. You know, and then you get pissed off. I'm like, man, you know, how can Abstract do this to me? You know, I thought we were homies. I thought we were friends. And now he's going behind my back trying to katia my lady. Okay? But then I came to realize that it's just human nature, okay? And if your lady is yours, right, then she should be the one to tell Abstract, like, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah, true.
No, you cannot do this. Don't you know Prez is my man, you see? So that changed my way of thinking because if I was to get mad at people who would be hitting on the women, I'd get mad at the whole world, you know? So it gave me that mentality that, you know, in life, just use people to your advantage. Don't catch feelings, you know, like people say, hii maisha hitaji makasiriko, you know, because ukiweka makasiriko utakasirika na kila mtu.
That's true.
You know, so the older you grow, you know, the wiser you become. And so I looked at life from a different perspective. I never used to flip like I used to before back in the day. So I would know about things that are happening behind my back, but mi nilikuwa nacheka na kipofu. So, but if you choose to get mad, then you'll get mad at the whole world, and before you know it, then you'll find yourself all by your own sum.
You'll be saying me against the world.
Me against the world, and you're not Tupac.
Right.
Actually, we're very sorry about you. It's the CMB Prezzo Caliph production. Because of the first time we met Clemo. That's the which
okay, so we've done Let's Get Down, we've done A Little Action, we've done the videos. I've seen how much love the fans are giving me, right? I've gotten that endorsement I told you earlier on about. So anywhere I go, after that Chopper stunt, Prezzo was a household name.
Yeah, too.
Everywhere I go, was nothing but love. So I said, it's only right for me to give back to my fans, okay? That time, Kenyan artists were very humble. They would never use like, these are my fans, They would always say, mazee watu wangu asanteni kwa support yenu, najua bado tunaendelea. But then, you have the Jay-Z's and them saying, yeah, I got a fan base, I got this and that. So I said, for me, the best way I can give back, because the love was overwhelming, right? I said, I'm going to do a song called My Fans, right? And then my thought process told me, go to Caliph Records and have Clemo produce that for you. So we got into communication and everything. We went to Caliph. The whole of Caliph came to a standstill because Prezzo was there.
Of course.
So we go to the studio. That time, it was actually Clemo's house. So the living room was the studio. And when I met Clemo, I thought Clemo would look like a producer, like a musician. But Clemo didn't look like a musician. Clemo looked like a headmaster or an accountant, So I'm like, this can't be the guy who's been giving us all these hits.
Right.
And hits and hits and hits. So he introduced himself. He said, yeah, I'm Clemo. I'm like, watcha. He's like, yeah, I'm Clemo. I'm like, okay. But you could look at the look on my face told it all, like, I was butwa ilinipiga nikapumzika kwa kiti. But then I came to realize that, Clemo was a musical genius.
Yes.
Why do I say that? He told me, okay, what's your vision? I told him, I have this song I've written, I want to give back to the fans, and it's called My Fans. So he just pressed play and told me, sing the hook. I said, no beat, no nothing. He's like, no.
Just the hook.
Yeah, you just sing the hook. So I go, My Fans, me now wapenda wote. And then after that, he told me, okay, give me 3 days, I'll revert to you. So even when I left there, I was still confused. And then, the fact that the whole of Caliph is outside surrounding the cars and everything made me even more confused. But I said, okay, I'm sure he knows what he's doing. So what he does is, he has the hook, and then now he starts building the instrumental and the beat around the hook.
Yes.
Okay.
And that made me respect him even more, because most of the producers that I was with would start, doing the beat, and then you have to fit in your hook, But Clemo used to construct it from the ground up.
And that was his genius.
That was his genius. And then, I hate to sound like a broken record, but Clemo didn't look like a music producer at all.
Headmaster.
Yeah.
Headmaster with the beats.
Yeah.
Accountant.
And then, the spectacles also didn't make the situation any better.
Now, Prezzo, there's a movement with the Gen Zs going on, right?
Right.
Where are you with that frame of thought of the movement that we have with the Mandamano, with wanting our rights?
I've been in full support of that. I have like my last born brother. He's 21. His name is Makini. The Gen Zs, basically, they're the ones who are going to eliminate the biggest monster that faces, like, our African continent. Especially, I mean, like, ile ukabila. Gen Zs hawana ukabila kabisa. Gen Z hawataki kujua weni wa kutoka wapi, weni Mkikuyu, weni Masai. Them, they're just together as one. So you find that even say with the political scenes, most people would say like, okay, if you come from Kibra, then you have to be a Luo for you to vie as an MP at Kibra. But thanks to the Gen Zs, they're now breaking that cycle. And for that reason, even the Mandamanos, I was there with them.
Oh, yeah, you were, right?
I was there full force. I have a new song out called Oya.
Oh, yeah.
And the video, we took actually part of the clips from the Mandamanos and everything, and incorporated it in the musical video for the Oya song. So I think it's a beautiful thing, whatever they're doing, because, hiyo kabila ilikuwa aituletee maendeleo kabisa. Where you from? If you're not Kikuyu, then I'm not with you. If you're not Kisii, I'm not, Gen Zs, they broke that cycle. So big up to them. And, they've given a lot of our leaders, like, sleepless nights.
That's a beautiful thing, and we should continue that way.
Yeah.
Just let me ask you a little story about your upbringing in Isili.
Yeah.
What was it like?
Well, for me, my folks, Isili, actually, my folks took care of me.
Yeah.
Yes, we were in a rough neighborhood and everything, but for me, I never felt it, because I used to have somebody who would take me to school. There's a place where they sell fries. It's called Sunset. It's there up until now.
Nice.
I used to eat Sunset from Monday to Monday, So for me, I wouldn't say like it was a struggle. And we lived there for 10 years. So from 1980 when I was born till 1990. And then, my mzee, he hustled here, hapa kule, hapa pale. Akapata do. Then we moved to Langata. So you see, the house in Isli was just a flat, with 2 bedrooms. But we used to live there, like my uncles, my aunties, were a whole battalion.
2 bedroom.
2 bedroom.
Where?
So, but then I never faced any hardships, to be honest, because if there's any people who faced the hardships, would have been my folks.
What message would you tell the kids in Isili who are listening to you right now?
Man, you can make it from Isili to Kasabi.
I like that.
Okay, for me, I don't know if to call her a socialite or content creator, and I want to take on this.
Right.
I think a month or two, she went on live or whatever platform she was using and said, marriage Ubamba Mafala. And putting in mind, your stories from back in the day to now. What's your take on that? Do you think marriage Ubamba Mafala?
I just think, when it comes to marriage, right, you both parties have to understand each other. I'll use myself as an example, okay? For me, I got married to my high school sweetheart. Ever since Form 5, I was dating this lady. And, we carried on. She went to Canada. I followed her, things you do for love. All that, So in Canada, I used to tell her I had a studio set up. And, she would come in the middle of the night, find me in that room where I put my setup, and she'd be like, "You really are passionate about music, aren't you?" I said, "Yeah, I really am passionate about music." And she said, "Don't worry, one day you're going to be a star." But then little did I know that she was just saying that in her mind, in the back of her mind, thinking that, yeah. He's very ambitious.
Right.
So fast forward, when I came back to Kenya and then I started making moves, I became the artist that I am, the star that I am. And then, before we got married, everything was swell.
Yeah.
She would support here and there. But when we got married, now she wanted me to become the accountant. She wanted me to have an 8 to 5 job.
Okay.
That is not for me, And so that's where we started, like, our signals started getting crossed. Because I thought, like, me getting married to her, she's the one who understands me better than anyone else.
Yeah.
And I thought that, we're going to work this out together. I even told her, because for her, when she thought music and musicians, she thought, like, it's just the negative side.
Yeah.
Like women and distractions and all that. So I told her, you can even be my manager. That way, even if I'm called for a show, you will be there with me. Sort of like what BN is doing with his wife now currently.
Yeah.
But then if there's no understanding between the two parties, then the marriage is going to be a bit tricky.
Right.
And, the sad truth about today's world is the amount of single parents that are out there, the ratio is too high. You know what I mean? I don't know what the problem is. I guess sometimes when you dig deep into it, it will be like technology.
Yeah.
Because you see, these cell phones have really broken up so many homes.
Very true.
You see, during like our parents' times, there was no cell phones, there was nothing. So hata kama unajua mtu anaingia mpango wa kando, there's no receipts, you know.
Let me ask you, does your phone have a password?
Yes, it does.
Damn it. Okay.
Yeah, you know, but mine is there because of protocol. There's so many G14 classifieds here as the president.
So, but in that story, still staying on that story. So, would you remarry? Would you want to find love once again?
Not really.
Or go back?
No.
You're happy solo?
I'm happy solo.
Hey.
And you know, I'm blessed with 2 beautiful kids.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So for me, I'm Gucci. I'm in a comfort zone.
You're in
now.
a good place.
Yeah, I'm in a good place.
Speaking of good place, you're very spiritual. I like that.
I am.
And I liked something that I heard you say is that when you pray, it's a conversation.
It's a conversation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Oh, you know, it's not formal because you know this is my homie. So you know, it feels more legit that way for me because I'll be like, oh man, Lord, please. Just get me out of this trouble. Oh Lord, please just open up the doors for me. You know, if you give me a second chance, then sometimes, you know, I might tell him like, forgive me for my trespasses. And then when I sin again, I'll be like, man, but you understand though, right? You know, I was stuck between a hard wall and a brick stone on a jaw. So for me, it's more like it's a conversation and it's not like, you know, holier than thou. And guess what? Like, I've been through a lot of trials and tribulations, and I'm still here. And I believe, you know, the prayers from my mother and the prayers that I do for myself and for my family and my friends and loved ones are the ones that actually kept me afloat to date.
And if you'd call your mother right now, do you think she'd pick up?
Of course.
Just call and say you love her.
Yeah.
I dare you.
Put on speaker. Let's see what happens. That's be a good thing.
Asianze kusema unanipigia kwa nini? Unataka nini? As we continue on,
it's going to be amazing.
Let's see.
Yeah.
I wish there was something that.
Wewe utaweza pigia mamako kumwambia mami I love you. Okay, let's see whether she's going to pick up.
But you know, she's a doctor, so she might be with the patient.
Ashaanza kutupatia excuse.
No, it's true. Anybody knows my mom is a doctor.
Okay.
Hello? Na mami, shikamo. Nashukuru, nilikuwa nimepiga tu kukwambia nakupenda.
Amen. Barikiwe.
Amen mama. Uko kwa radio, nitakupigia nikimaliza, sawa?
Uko kwa?
Niko kwa radio station.
Okay.
Nitakupigia nikimaliza, but
thank you.
Nakupenda.
I love you more.
Na umesalimiwa, sawa?
Asante.
Aya, thanks.
Asante, nakupenda sana.
Amen mama. Thanks.
Okay,
Bye. Told you.
Me, I'm imagining now me abstract over here. He was told, gun on my head, call, should I pick up that? I start choosing my suit. So, bro, pen paper. Write a letter to your younger Prezzo when you're starting. What would you tell the young Prezzo?
I would not change anything. God's honest truth.
Okay. I
would not change anything because you see, the best lessons learned in life is through experience. And so, you know, for me, you know, Waswahili wanasema kufanya kosa sio kosa, lakini kurudia kosa ndio kosa. So for me, whatever mistakes that, let's say for example, I would go for a show and then I fumbled the bag in the sense that maybe the promoter said, oh, you know, I'm going to pay your balance in the morning. And then come morning, the guy's phone is mteja.
That has happened to you, Prezzo?
Trust me, man.
Yeah.
Tena dawa now I regret because it happened like more than once.
Okay.
You know? But then now, you know, as time went by, I said, okay, we found ourselves one time in Malindi, stranded. The promoter is not picking up his mteja.
But you had accommodation? Accommodation?
No, we had accommodation, everything. We had accommodation, we had our return tickets, but we didn't have our other 50% deposit.
Yeah.
So the promoter knew that these guys cannot stay in Malindi for more than 3 days because they're dipping into their own pockets and what have you.
Okay.
So, of course, he knows that their time here is limited. Kwa hiyo yeye akiingia mitini, Dana.
Naelewa, darling. Naelewa.
Akiingia mitini.
Yes.
then we cannot just say, okay, we're going to camp here and wait for this guy to come out. Unaelewa? Kwa hiyo I always try to be a better person than I was yesterday. And then you see like an incident. I'm just giving you guys an example of the promoter. I said, man, I'm not going to let this happen ever again. So whenever we go for a show, I used to make sure that we're paid in full and everything is in perspective.
Yes.
And so hata kesho yake akiamua kuingia mitini,
Ni sawa.
we've secured the bag. Kwa hiyo there's nothing I would tell a younger Prezzo to do different, because I believe you just had to go through that experience for it to mold you into a better person. Yeah, so you see, I mean, we're here, we're aging like fine wine.
Tell me about it. Mpaka umeni confused. Sijui nenda kuuliza nini next. Umeni confused kabisa. I'm just thinking, like when I'm listening to you, I'm feeling so zen.
Yeah.
Like I could hear you talk forever and I'd just be in a happy place. All right, you've spoken to your younger child, your younger self.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the legacy that you want to leave.
The legacy that I wanted to leave, when I got into the music business, I like to say that we're the freedom fighters of the music business. We're the Mau Maus, we're the Dead and Kimathis of the music industry. Why I say that is because, you see, when we started, man, we used to get paid peanuts. Okay? You're being given like 20,000, 40,000. Okay? But then my main goal was to open up the doors for the next generation, so that the next generation can open up the doors for the next generation, and so on and so on and so forth. So when I see artists, like when I see youngins driving cars off of music, when I see artists living in good homes and in mansions and everything, that on its own, man, my role has already been played. Because at the end of the day, if anybody tells you that, if anybody doesn't give Prezzo or even the other people that we studied music with, if they don't give him their props, then they're just living in denial. Because you see, we opened up those doors and we left them open.
Yes.
If we're not those kind of people, then we would have opened the doors and then closed them. You see, but just seeing people prospering through their art, for me, that's more than enough for me.
And we give you your flowers.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Okay, I'm going to ask you something. You're human, and from the word go, people assume celebrities are not, don't have feelings, don't have anything. Let me just take you back to 16th December, worst day of your life.
Yeah.
Sorry,
How did
come
you
again?
2006, December 16th, you remember?
Yeah.
Worst day of your life.
Yeah.
How did you deal with that grief? How did you receive the news?
Yeah.
Rose, Oscar,
Yeah.
no more.
Yeah, at that time we were doing like a tour in the States. So it was me and DJ Styles.
Okay.
And then Nazizi and Necessary Noise, they were doing a tour in Germany. So, DJ Styles stopped his set because he got the news when he was at night. So
Yeah.
he came to the hotel. He stopped his show and just came to talk to me because they didn't know how they were going to break the news to me. DJ Styles came and told me, yo, bro, are you okay? So I'm connecting the dots. I'm saying something is off. This guy was supposed to be back here by around, say, 3.
Yeah.
Right now, it's like 10:30, 11. And the look on his face, it wasn't the Styles that I know. So I asked the guy, I'm like, bro, is everything okay? He said, I'm afraid no. I told him, man, cut to the chase, brother. You're giving me anxiety now. So he told me, Firoz and Oscar, they were in an accident. And unfortunately, man, I didn't even want him to finish. I just busted out crying. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, words cannot express. And then, for a moment there, I was hoping it would be a bad dream, that I will wake up. Those dreams that you wake up and you're like, kumbe ilikuwa ndoto.
Yeah.
But then, when it dawned on me, and then keep in mind now I'm thinking Nazizi is also not in Kenya. So many things were just crossing my mind. And then I had a contract, so I had to abide with that contract. And Firoz was Muslim, so he had to be buried as soon as possible.
Yeah.
It was a bitter pill to swallow, to be honest. And God's honest truth, like ever since then, I've never been the same. Kabisa, yani ever since then, like, I tried to patch up like another team of people surrounding me, but it was never the same, you know.
But we grew from that.
Yeah, we grew from that.
Yes.
Even the show Juicy, I dedicated it to Firoz and all the fallen soldiers.
Yeah, that's the
Yes.
reason I actually asked the question.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and it's a good thing. So for any listener out there, just find a way to grieve. Don't harbor stuff inside.
Yeah.
So if you're to ever do a biopic,
On
Or
sorry,
docu.
on that note,
Yeah.
you know, I'd also like to tell anybody who's listening out there, you know, sisi wanaume tuko na sijui ni naweza kuuliza abstract, vipi bro, uko freshi? Kumbe is bleeding inside, but he'll just brush it off like, "Amini uko poa bro, wewe je?" But deep down inside, you know, he's not okay, you know. And when you harbor things inside you, when they blow up, they blow up like a volcano. You know, you find yourself losing yourself and everything. So it's always good to talk, but, you know, don't just talk to anybody, talk to the right people.
That's right.
Because, you know, you might tell somebody the wrong person, next thing you know, stories zako zimeenea, yani.
oh, believe me not, I know that.
Yeah, not just anybody, but find that one person who you can open up to, and always
Confide in.
don't keep things inside, because trust me, the results are going to be disastrous.
You're asking something about a biopic. Is it
If-
that who's
are you- yeah, would you ever do a biopic or write a book about yourself?
Absolute, bro.
you know
Mine-
what?
I'll be inside there.
Mine's a blockbuster, bro.
By the way, I'm going to task myself to do that.
Trust
To
me.
direct your biopic.
Let's do it. No, on a
Done
serious
deal.
note.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
I've been looking for a project, and your project is one I think I'm going to do.
And you see mine,
Yeah.
like, there's no sugar coating.
Yes.
We'll just call a spade and not a big spoon. The reason why I would do that is because I feel like it will inspire a lot of people out there. And my life is like a film. Just wait and see.
It is. All right. Thank you so much for coming to be with
Oh,
us.
we're done already, man.
Imagine it's already
Imagine
6
it's done.
I
o'clock.
was just getting comfortable.
We can talk off mic if that's okay.
No, I really
final
appreciate
words. Final words.
I want to let anybody who's listening, I want you to know that success is on the other side of fear. And in life, you know, you just have to give it a try. Besides, how are you going to win if you don't play?
Right.
God bless you, man.
That's beautiful.
Asante
Prezzo.
sana, bro.
Yo.
I'll see you.